Welcome to the Glaucoma Traveller audio podcast 0003 Lichfield Cathedral. So in this episode we're going to talk a little bit about how we planned our trip to Lichfield, what it was like on the train getting there by public transport, what it was like getting to Lichfield Cathedral, and a little bit about the accessibility around Lichfield Cathedral. So I hope you enjoy it. So our journey to Lichfield, basically I got the bus. Well, I got the bus from home into the centre of Birmingham and went to New Street Station and got a train to Lichfield. Actually, it goes to Lichfield Trent Valley. There's a service every half an hour, 24 minutes past and 6 minutes to the hour. So that was quite straightforward. I actually went to the ticket machine and bought my ticket. I must say the ticket machines are a little bit tricky to use, especially when you've got a vision impairment. Although there's a fair bit of contrast on the machines with white letters on a red background, it doesn't actually assume that you're actually putting a ticket, you're getting a ticket to go somewhere else. How can I put it? I wanted to go to Lichfield, so I expected to actually put Lichfield in and then see tickets from Birmingham to Lichfield, but unfortunately it went the other way around. So, but anyway, there was another button to press, and once I pressed this button, it actually gave me the other stations to choose from. Although I don't think it was ideal. I generally use the cross-country app on my phone to book these tickets, and the only reason why I didn't do that this time was I'm always conscious sometimes of the battery on my phone, and even though it's a brand new battery that I've got the last couple of weeks ago, I just thought, I might as well have a paper ticket because you can't go wrong with paper tickets. But I think in the future, looking at my experience at the New Street Station with the ticket machine, for some reason or other, it wasn't intuitive. I'm going to use the app again. So I'd advise everybody, if you can, use the app. And I have my disabled person's rail card on my phone as well, you'll see. So I'm always conscious about battery, but then again, I could always put another battery in my, a rechargeable battery in my bag and charge my phone on the way there, on the way back, because unfortunately the trains that go to Lichfield Trent Valley from Birmingham New Street don't have at-seat charging. So yeah, be a bit careful. But on the whole, the experience, because I know New Street Station so well, it was quite straightforward. I got there early because I always get there early. The journey took about 35 minutes or so, 40 minutes. And the only thing to remember when you get to Lichfield City, which is what you need to get off at to go into the actual Lichfield city centre itself, is that when you get off the train from Birmingham, you turn right and then you walk. You can either walk and go down the stairs, or there's a lift you can use. I just went down the stairs. On the way back up though, I took the lift. But it's fairly straightforward. There's only 2 platforms. And so my advice to you is if you've got any difficulty, you just use a lift. And then basically go down the stairs, or if you go down the stairs, you would turn right. And if you get out of the lift, you turn left. And you just walk straight out to Lichfield City train station. The one thing I would say to you is that when you do think about crossing the road, you do need to bear in mind that to your right, as you come out of the station, there's sort of car parking space around there, so you will see cars coming in and dropping off. So be careful when you walk over there to your right, just to make sure that there's no cars pulling in. And then there's a drop curb, and then there's some pedestrian crossing. Of course, press the button and wait until you hear the beep, and then cross over. So it was fairly straightforward. I know full well that for some people it will be difficult if you're in a wheelchair or you do have mobility problems. But there was a guard on the train, obviously, and I'm sure that he or she would put the ramp out for you if you needed wheelchair access. But just bear that in mind. Once you leave Lichfield City train station and you've crossed over to the pedestrian crossing, and then you cross over there, over the crossing, you turn left and then walk along and then turn right onto St John Street. You need to be aware that the St John Street is quite a narrow pavement, And one of the things that I noticed on my way and also coming back from Lichfield Cathedral is some of the pavement slabs are in disrepair, either cracked or they are some subsidence in them. So you need to be aware about that. It also has some cobblestones as well. These are not like the old-fashioned cobblestones where they stick up, but these are the ordinary flat cobbles that they have in pedestrianised areas and things like that, the small stones. And some of those areas that you've walked by, they are quite loose. So you need to be really careful when you go to St John Street that you take your time because that would, we don't want people falling over. And St John Street then goes on to Bird Street. Just as you approach Bird Street, there's on the right hand side, there's a tree there, and the cobbles of as the tree has grown, the cobbles being pushed outward. So you need to be really careful that you just bear a little bit left when you to get past the tree, because certainly the cobbles surrounding the base of the tree have all been pushed up and there's a lot of cobbles there loose. So I would be careful on your journey up there, but that Bird Street is quite easy to get through, and otherwise it's not too bad up Bird Street. You just keep on this right hand side all the way going to St John Street and Bird Street. You'll go over the bridge over the pool, and then on the right hand side is Cathedral Close. Likewise on here you've got some paving slabs which are cracked, but you've also got a cobbled area as well. So you need to be careful in that first instance of walking when you turn right onto Cathedral Close. Once you get past that, it's only about 20 metres or so. You're in front of the cathedral itself. With regards to actually getting into the cathedral itself, just as you go through Cathedral Close and it's straight in front of you, there is an entrance and it is all one service. So it's a no-step access to the cathedral that way. If you went down either side of the road where the cathedral is, where the cathedral's in the centre on the left and right, there are steps leading down to that road. Although they've got handrails, some of you may feel that you don't want to do that, but my advice would be to just walk straight in front of you basically as you go into Cathedral Close is no-step access towards the cathedral. Then, as you go through there, you'll pass by the greenery area with tables, outside tables. And as you go past those, it does dip a little bit down, but it's gradual, so you need to be aware of that. And then the entrance into the cathedral itself is step-free as well. So just be aware of that little dip as you go towards the cathedral entrance. And then once you're in the cathedral itself, you don't have to worry about any sort of steps or anything like that. It's all on one level. So, I mean, that is good considering it's a very old building, but it's all on one level and you can walk around. Now, when we come to the lighting aspect of the cathedral, it's going to be variable because of the time of day you go, and whether it's a sunny day or it's just an ordinary day or it's an overcast day. A lot will depend on the lighting. Although there's lighting there, obviously on a nice sunny day, then you're going to get all that nice sunshine through the stained glass windows, and that helps. But there are some areas of the cathedral that have subdued lighting, and some of that is to protect the documents that you will see, some manuscripts and some very old books. So you need to be aware of that in those areas, and they're mainly off the left as you go into the cathedral. And you go through on the left hand side. As you walk down, there is a room on the right hand side, left hand side, and you go in there and there's manuscripts and what have you. So you need to be aware that does have some dim lighting. But as you walk around the cathedral, you'll see that it is quite spacious. You'll be able to navigate quite well, I think. As for obviously wheelchair users, then there's no real problems in accessing the whole of the cathedral once you're inside. Maybe some of the where they show off the book, that would be quite easy for you to see as well, because the books are lower down, quite low down. Information may be a little bit of a problem, having to look up at the information, what have you, but certainly some of the exhibits are quite well placed height-wise. And then as you go around the cathedral and sort of in a circle and come back out again through the main entrance, you'll find that there's no real barriers to you getting out and about. Getting around the cathedral is quite a nice little cathedral in that respect as far as accessibility goes. You know, when you go out into the cathedral close again, then obviously if you've got a wheelchair, you'll come out of the door, straight up the path and straight out to cathedral close. So it's all one run and it's all step-free access that way. And for those who are mobile, you can either take that route yourself, or you can go either side of the cathedral down the steps, and then you can walk around the cathedral that way. On the roadside, just be aware that obviously there'll be cars coming up there as well. Not so many, but there will be some cars coming around. And then there's the return journey back. I would say that it is exactly the same as the journey you made towards the cathedral, and that I would stay on, which is now your left-hand side, coming out of the cathedral close, turning left, and you're walking on the left-hand side now, going towards the train station. There are a few little side roads you'll find, so you need to be aware of those. Some of those are cobbled, but not the old type of cobbles. And so I think you need to be aware of those. And of course, like I've said before about the state of some of the paving slabs and the cobbles, just take your time and be aware. But unfortunately, the pavements aren't that wide. So you need to take your time, and of course, if somebody's got a buggy, a pushchair or something, and walking down that road on the pavement, there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of room for two people passing down, never mind somebody in a buggy. So you just need to be careful on your way walking down towards the Lichfield City train station. And then it's just the reverse of crossing over at a pedestrian crossing, and then there's a drop curb, and then when you actually arrive to the pedestrian crossing just in front of Lichfield City train station, once you've crossed over there's a drop curb, and then you need to remember that is a drop-off point for cars, so you need to make sure you look to see to ensure that there's no cars whizzing by. I mean, they don't go by fast, but you need to be careful about that. So the cars will obviously be coming from your right hand side as you cross back, go into the station, and then there's a drop curb, and then the entrance into Lichfield City train station. And then if you walk straight ahead, you've got the stairs on your left that take you up to platform 1 and 2, and you've got the lift on your right hand side, so you've got the choice of either. The lift is very, very just next to the stairs, so you won't got far to travel once you get out of the lift. And then you've got a train every half an hour, 25 past and 5 to the hour, Lichfield City to Birmingham New Street at the moment. So, and then you just do the reverse journey at New Street Station. Well, I did anyway. And then onwards to wherever you want to go. But on the whole, I found that Lichfield Cathedral is a quite nice little cathedral, and it's very well laid out, and you can get around it very easily. So I hope you enjoy this little me prattling on here about this, about accessibility. And I hope you find it useful. So cheerio for now. Bye-bye.